States, Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, you gotta be unlimited.
Well, that was a movie.
Hello and welcome back to First Thoughts. I'm Simon, this is Justin, and today we're giving our first thoughts on Wicked for Good. Does that title make any sense? Not really, but it's fine. It's one of the songs, I guess. Is it a line they say in this movie? No. That's fine.
Hey, I'm sure they say the words wicked, for, and good at
They
various times in
do
this
say
movie.
all of those words at some point. I don't think anybody says colon at any point, but maybe I missed it. I was too preoccupied with my own when I was trying not to shit myself during the movie. Okay, so just to recap, pick up where we left off last time, because we did, in fact, review the first one. I had never seen any production of Wicked. You had seen it a long, long time ago.
Yes.
Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Yep.
My only experience with it was my sister singing and or playing the soundtrack from time to time, and really that was mainly just Popular. I heard that song a lot growing up. But anyway, other than that, obviously I knew about it. I obviously was very familiar with The Wizard of Oz, but Wicked itself was not very familiar with, just knew the basic concept. And I forget how you felt. I loved the first one. I loved it. I enjoyed it so much. I forget where it ended up on my list, but I'm pretty sure it was on my list last year. Hold please. It was 10. I had this as my, Wicked Part 1 was my 10th favorite movie of that year. I really enjoyed it.
I don't think I liked it as much as you, but I did like it quite a bit.
I'm a sucker for musicals. I'll admit it. When they're good, when they get you going. And especially when you see them on a big screen with loud speakers, which we did. And, you know, I had some critiques. I think I ended up giving that movie, I think what I said was I'm giving it a 7, and depending on how the sequel goes, that could go up to an 8, was what I think I said. Because I said, and maybe I forgot to say this, but I definitely thought that Wicked Part 1 had a lot of filler songs, but the good songs were great. Obviously, Popular is a great song, and then, of course, Defying Gravity is a phenomenal song. That one I would play all the time in my car. It makes you really want to fist pump. I really get going for that song. Really enjoy it. It's loud, it's great, love it. So I was excited, obviously, therefore, for Part 2. Once again, had never seen it before, was familiar with the basic ideas, wasn't surprised by anything that happened in it because I knew the majority of what was happening already. Didn't know all of the intricacies, wanted to see it played out. And, gotta say, going back to something I think I said in Part 1, this all could have been one movie, and we all would have been a lot happier. What did you think of this?
Definitely not as good as the first part.
No,
Oh.
not at all. Not even close.
Yeah, I knew most everything that happened. I mean, it has been like 16 years. I kind of forgot little
Sure.
details here and there. But I remember who everyone was, how everyone came to be, and the ending twists. Right. Yeah. Not my favorite.
No.
I feel like it could have been all right, but I feel like there's a few portions that probably could have, or probably needed to be fleshed out some. And I'm assuming the original stage play made those same calls. Now, I don't know that for sure, but I have to assume they did, and that's why this movie made those calls.
Right.
Probably should have expanded a bit in the movie, but, you know. I think they wanted to keep it as authentic to the stage play as they can, and I guess they probably did.
Yeah, I mean, so having not seen the stage play, I can't critique that. So if I make a criticism about this movie that is also applicable to the stage play, take it that way. Whether it's a bad adaptation or a good adaptation, I don't like whatever I'm going to be complaining about, and there's a lot. You say some things should have been fleshed out some more, and I agree. If they were going to, they should have, and if they weren't, they should have cut a lot of shit out. This movie's first hour to hour 15 was pointless. None of it needed to be there. And this movie is 2 hours and 18 minutes. The first one was 2 hours and 40 minutes. So this one, if you take out that first hour 15, leaves you with about an hour. The first one also had poor pacing and could have been about 40 minutes shorter. Slap that together, you got a nice 3-hour movie. That's what this should have been. And I'm just like, why the fuck didn't we? Or, like you said, we could have fleshed out some stuff, made some stuff more interesting, because holy shit, we gloss the fuck over some stuff. And so make this movie worth its runtime. Take out that first hour and then put an hour back into fleshing out some shit that we barely even reference, don't even explain half of what's going on. And I gotta wonder if it's really how they did it in the musical, because if they did, how did this musical get recognition? Because the plot is terrible. It's awful.
Well, you know, the songs are great. And the
Are
story's
they?
great.
There's 2 great songs in the first half and 1 pretty good song in this half. I think the For Good song, whatever that's called, was decent, but the music in Wicked, sorry, is only okay to me. This isn't like one of the best musicals I've ever heard. I found it entertaining in the first part, and there was 2 great songs, but the second part, none of the music was great. I mean, For Good was pretty good. That was it. I had high expectations. I was excited to watch this. This was on my, to watch list the second I stepped out of the theater for part 1. I really wanted this to be good, and it just really wasn't. It didn't need to exist. I even said to you, I don't know if it was on camera or not, but after part 1, I was like, what else do we need to do with this story? And you're like, well, we need to go through the Wizard of Oz. I'm like, okay, you're right. That took about 10 minutes of the runtime of this movie was going through the plot.
Yeah.
So we could have done those 10 minutes in the last movie and nothing else fucking mattered.
Well, apparently we had to, build up to the Wizard of Oz.
Did we?
For an hour and a
It
half.
was awful. We did nothing. And oh God, it was just, I want to get into spoilers so bad. But this movie did not need to exist. It really didn't. There was so little of the plot that mattered in this. It was all superfluous. It didn't need to happen, other than some key moments. And I think you could probably condense it down to 40 minutes, hour maximum of this movie mattered, and you could easily add that on to the last movie, and it would be fine. The last movie had things you could have cut too, like the musical number they added just to get the original Elphaba and Glinda back in. They made that whole new song. I forget even what it was because it was so unmemorable. You cut that, cut maybe another song or two, make the first one 40 minutes shorter and tack on an hour of this, and that's a good movie there.
But you got to hear the original Elphaba do the little, the scream for a split second.
I don't even like her. Sorry, controversial opinion. Idina Menzel, overrated. I don't like her. Oh yeah, by the way, this movie was directed by John M. Chu and starring Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. We didn't say that, but it is. It's also got Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Yeoh, Jonathan Bailey, Ethan Slater, and Marissa Baudet in it. Doubling back, by the way, Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Yeoh still can't sing. Neither of them can. At least Jeff Goldblum's funny. I think he's a good choice to play the wizard. Just cut his song numbers is what you should have done. And then Michelle Yeoh, total miscast. She can't sing. Here's a whole separate thing, by the way, and I know this is a critique of the play, not the movie, but Michelle Yeoh's character, I don't like it existing. I think I was realizing that today. Watching part 2, I went, why did we add a whole extra witch? Because you got the good witch, the bad witch, and the other bad witch. Evil East, evil West, and good. And then you've got the Wizard of Oz. These were the main characters. They're all there from the original Wizard of Oz. And then we added in this extra witch that is now a bad guy too. And it's this is unnecessary. I get it. The wizard doesn't actually have powers, but he could have been just a master manipulator or something, or you could have made him actually secretly have powers. There's a million ways you could have done. That character to me is so not needed in this plot. Now, that's obviously not a critique of the movie, it's a critique of the play, but I just don't like how that character is written or used.
But we need someone to, teach them...
No, we don't.
Teach her the dark arts.
We don't.
And then send her on her way. Yeah, no, from the synopsis, now, of course, it could have left out details, but it all seemed to happen as it did. They
Yeah,
don't really
and it's
explain if they
bad.
don't show you Scarecrow's face until the very end like this, but I guess he would have been on stage, so maybe that would have been a little
That's
harder.
another good point that's not spoilery in case you have followed any news. They make a point of not showing Dorothy's face at all because they quote thought it would be distracting if it wasn't Judy Garland. Deliberately avoiding showing her face was more distracting than any actress you could have cast outside of Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Like, anything would have been better than just trying to avoid her at all costs.
Like, come on, it's 2025.
Yeah.
Like, we understand.
We understand she been dead.
Yeah. Just put somebody in there for the 5 total minutes of
Yeah.
screen time Dorothy would have had.
It was awful. I really want to get into spoilers. At this point, you get the idea. I didn't like it, and I think it was a waste of time. That being said, it also wasn't offensive. It was just a waste of time. So I'm giving it a 5.
Yeah, 5 feels fair.
I almost gave it a 6, and then I was like, I genuinely will never think about this again. Because I don't care. The first one, I listened to the soundtrack still. I loved that. This one, nothing mattered.
Yeah, I wasn't going to think about this one either way, but now I don't really want to think about it in the slightest.
Yeah.
And I forgot how uninteresting the second half of this play is.
It is. It's so boring. And it doesn't have to be. The plot could be good. There's plenty in there to be good, and it's just not.
The first half is just so much better.
Yeah.
And having just rewatched the first part
Yeah.
this morning and then saw the second half now, God, it's a real steep drop off.
Yeah. It's a shame because the first part, like, I was watching going like, man, they're building up to some really cool, interesting ideas here. And they don't do any of it. I'm like, that's lame. Okay, thanks for that. So, yeah, we're getting into spoilers now so we can keep complaining. If you want to sit around and hear us complain some more, because we know you do, then you should. But if not, and you want to watch it first, click away, go watch it, come back and complain with us. Or tell us why we're wrong and why this movie is phenomenal. Go ahead. We won't care. But whatever you do, please don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, all that. Thanks, guys. Bye. So, spoilers. The whole thing with the characters
Oh, I guess
becoming the characters
yeah.
was so dumb and unnecessary. I get why they wanted to show who the Tin Man was before he became the Tin Man,
Yeah.
and why they wanted the Scarecrow before the Scarecrow. Here's the thing. You didn't do it with the Lion, and he was the most enjoyable character of the bunch.
You see, he was already the Cowardly Lion.
Exactly. That's why I liked him. Because you weren't attaching Bach and whatever the fuck his name is to these other lovable characters that I already know and care about. And so when I see the Cowardly Lion, I immediately go, yes, him, I love him. And then you go, oh, look, it's Bach, but now he's all made of metal. And I go, well, he looks cool.
They shrunk his heart.
I think they got rid of the heart. I think it shrank so
Well-
much it disappeared.
I think she got rid of it because it was too small to be useful anymore.
Watch your language. But the thing, it's not the size, it's how you use it, Justin.
Oh,
Anyway.
Bach didn't have the size or how to use it. I don't know what to tell you, Bach.
But, yeah, so it's just incredibly stupid, but at least there's, like, an explanation with Bach becoming the Tin Man. Nessa casts the incorrect spell on him, trying to make his heart tethered to her. Instead, she accidentally casts a spell that makes his heart shrink dramatically until, I guess, it's gonna disappear or whatever. She's like, please help him. And she goes, I can't. No spell cast from this book can be reversed. And then she goes, well, what are we gonna do? And she opens the spell book and she goes, the best I can do is try to find a spell that reverses it. Those were the exact words she used. She said, it can't be reversed. Let me try to reverse it. And I went, you moron, find a synonym, because that's so stupid sounding. Anyway, so then she casts the only spell she can think of, which is to turn him into a Tin Man, which I guess Tin Man don't need hearts to live, so therefore he'll keep living without the heart. So, okay, that's incredibly contrived and poor writing, but at least there's an explanation, at least there's logic attached to it. Okay, cool. Cut forward. There's this other character. I don't remember his name, and I'm not going to look it up. I don't care.
Fiero.
Okay, Fiero, sure, awesome. He is supposed to get married to Glinda, and they keep hinting at. There's a couple of lines early on there where she goes, "Are you missing your mind?" Like, "Oh, you're brainless." I keep waiting for them to say he's brainless. They never do, though. But then at one point he betrays Glinda because he's on Elphaba's side. They hook up and now he's hooked. Once you go green, you stay mean. And he is stuck over there. And so the royal guard or whoever take him away, and they're ordered to tie him to a post and beat the shit out of him.
Yep.
And so once again, Elphaba goes, "What is a good spell in this situation?" And she goes, "Make sure that he cannot have broken bones. Make sure that he cannot die." All these things that could be misconstrued, a la Harry Potter when he gets the bones in his arm removed. Well, his bones aren't broken. There's no bones left. Anyway, that essentially is what she does. But guess what they never mention? A fucking brain. And so at no point is there an explanation for why he doesn't have a brain. So I'm left to assume he still does. Also, by the way, guess what he still has? Memories. He still knows who Elphaba is. So why the fuck would he join Dorothy in their quest to kill Elphaba? There's no rationale given. The only thing that they do to try to avoid that is they don't fucking show him at any point. And so when the four of them go to meet the Wizard of Oz and he says, "Kill her and bring me back the broom as proof," they walk out. You never see his face. They just show him staggering around. And then you cut to outside and then Tin Man is singing an angry song about how they've been mistreated. They never show the Scarecrow in that whole thing. Then later, when Elphaba supposedly dies because they throw a bucket of water on her, nobody's there but Dorothy. And so you can say, "Oh, look, the Scarecrow wasn't involved." Bullshit! That's such lazy writing. You had the excuse right there that he doesn't have a brain, so therefore he doesn't have memories, and you didn't even fucking say that. Just, that's so easy, and they just avoided it.
It's not explained at all in the movie. They definitely could have tried something, but
Could have. Should have. Once again, these critiques are for whoever made the mistake. If this is the play's fault, it sucks. If this is the movie's fault, it sucks. I don't care who made the mistake. Whoever's fault it is, this, right now, sucks. I don't care who's at fault. I just know it was bad.
what they're basically saying is that she's trying to recite a spell from the grimoire to try to save Fiyero. She stops part way thinking she messed up the spell and that he died. She lost his memories and brain when she converted him into a scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he went on the journey when Dorothy found him.
Right.
But he remembered it all once he got a brain in the end, I guess.
And so they didn't bother saying this because
No.
it doesn't fucking matter.
And then, so
I
that's
guess.
when he, I guess,
Jesus,
went back.
this was bad.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's like real, and I don't know where the AI overview got it. I can't find it in any of the Wikipedia pages, but
Yeah.
I'm not searching through every freaking source right now.
No.
Also, I think the novel may be crazy different from the play.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, the
No.
novel and the musical have almost nothing in common.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they're very different.
It's like, I'm looking at the novel and it's like, oh yeah, he died, and then his whole family died. It's like, what the hell?
They're extremely different. Don't worry about the book. But I repeat, I don't know who made it dumb. I don't know if it was the musical. I don't know if it was the movie. But whoever made the choice,
It seems like
it's stupid.
It seems like it's both. I think it's a musical, I guess. Maybe the musical explains it a bit better, but it seems like it was.
All I needed was an
choice.
explanation. It didn't have to be good. I would eventually complain about that, like I did about the Tin Man. But just to not give an explanation is egregious.
Because, like, again, unless people are just leaving out details, which they definitely could be, both of the Wikipedia pages literally talk about him being converted to the Scarecrow, her talking to Glinda and saying we're never going to see his face again, and then him showing up at the end after she gets splashed with water. There's really nothing in between there, realistically, that they mention. So either nothing happens that they felt like writing about, or they really just don't explain shit there.
Yeah,
And we're just left to infer, or maybe it got explained, by creators later in some interview or something.
I don't
Some
care.
secondary
It's bad.
story.
I don't
Yeah.
care. It's bad. That's all I got to say. And most of this movie is, and the more I talk about it, the more I'm thinking 5 is generous. Because this was really, really stupid. And one of the other things that pissed me off about the whole avoidance, and once again, I don't know if this is the movie or the musical or both. I don't know. But the whole thing is like, so Nessa dies because the house falls on her, which was the closest I came to being surprised, because I thought she secretly survived too. I knew Elphaba did. I, for some reason, thought Nessa did too.
Yeah, I forgot how Nessa went down.
But anyway, in The Wizard of Oz, which this movie is based on, and is supposed to give explanation for why the things happen in that movie, Dorothy comes out, is given the slippers, and then Elphaba shows up and goes, "What the fuck? You killed my sister?" Which is a very reasonable reaction, whether you're good or evil. And then everybody goes, "Oh, she's the evil witch. Of course she's mad at you." But in this, Dorothy goes dancing on her merry way, and then Elphaba shows up and is just kind of disappointed. She's not mad, she's disappointed. And goes like, "Can I say goodbye to my sister in private?" And I'm like, of course this happened. And I was like, what is happening? She should be freaking the fuck out. And you get a glimpse of that when she throws Dorothy into the dungeon and says, "Give me the shoes." But once again, that should have been focused on more. That should have been fleshed out. I wanted to see her. She goes like, "Oh, well, all my good deeds turn into bad shit, so I guess I'll stop being good." I'm like, okay, cool. Let me see that descent into madness. Let me see that truly becoming evil and bitter. It was all there for the taking, and they just didn't do any of it.
Honestly, I think it probably happens that quickly in the play, too.
That's what I say. I don't care whose fault it is, but it sucks.
Like, I don't think the play shows the scene from the movie where she shows up and confronts Dorothy. I think it just shows the scene where she sees her and confronts Glinda.
Then the play sucks.
Because that's what gets talked about in the Wikipedia for the play. Is
It's bad.
she becomes frustrated, confronts Glinda for giving Nessa's shoes to Dorothy, and the fight ensues.
It's not good then.
Then it gets broken up. Fiyero, lets the green girl go. They run off together, etc., etc.
Shit.
Or no, he's that's when he surrenders himself and gets killed. Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Seems to just lead.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Seems like the movie's pretty one for one.
Whoever did it, it's bad. I don't care. It's awful. It's so easy to write. They gave you the scenes already. You just had to change the context, which the whole first movie did. The whole second movie could have just been the Wizard of Oz. Because, like I said, you wasted so much time. The whole, the end of the first movie already confused me, because I thought, so when she cast a spell on the monkeys to give them wings.
Yeah.
And they turn on her because they're mad at her for doing that to them. And I was like, why wouldn't they just be on her side? But okay.
It was quite a painful process.
I get it. Okay, I get the reasoning.
Forced upon them.
But so then the movie ends with her singing her great song and then fucking off.
Yeah.
Cut to credits. This movie starts with her, I don't know, in hiding for a while. They don't say how long it's been, but...
Apparently it was 5 years.
Okay, her sister became a mayor, some shit went down. It could have just been the next day for all I cared. And
yeah, I was confused too, but apparently it was 5 years.
I was like, man, she became a mayor fast.
I know.
But anyway, the whole first hour plus of this movie is her being like, hey, they think I'm evil, but I'm really good. It's like, cool, we already knew that. And then she goes like, we should not be enemies, but we are. Like, okay, cool, we already knew that. And then she goes, we'll just talk to the wizard. And she goes, I know, I'm going to. So she talks to the wizard, and he goes like, I'm not really bad. She goes, oh, really? Let's work together. Oh, plot twist, he is bad. We already knew that. We spent this whole hour building up to something that could have been as simple as like, oh, wait, the monkeys are on her side from the beginning. That would have saved us an hour of runtime, because that's all we gained from that hour was turning the monkeys to her side.
They gotta see her fighting for the monkeys for an hour, and then the monkeys, they'd be like, "Oh, you're cool. Well, our families aren't in peril anymore.
We'll
join you."
Such a waste of goddamn time, dude. And if you wanted to make 2 movies, cool, that's fine. But like I said, use the runtime for things then. Like making the rest of the story, I don't know, fucking good.
Gotta stick to the play.
No, you don't. Guess what? You don't. You can make it better.
Are you saying Wicked wasn't perfect? I guess you never saw it, but...
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm completely watching this with virgin eyes, going, God damn, I thought it would be better than this. Nothing like your first time. The first part was so enjoyable.
That's what happens when people leave school. So much more interesting there. And then everyone leaves and you gotta move forward with the rest of the plot that they had planned and shit goes downhill. Seen it happen many times.
I just didn't like anything that happened in this. Because I already didn't like whatever the fuck Michelle Yeoh's character is. Never liked her from the beginning. Wizard didn't really matter to this plot at all at this point. The whole thing with the guys turning...
He mattered at the end.
Did he?
Not really, but like
No,
they had his little reveal to like give him some general importance to the story.
Oh, yeah. Guess what? I forgot about that because that was revealed in the first movie. Because, okay, they don't show his face. They don't show his face in this one either. It's a CGI monstrosity that they show. But guess what they do in the first one is they have him fucking sing in the background. And I don't care. As somebody who'd never seen it and didn't know there was a connection between him and Elphaba, guess what will make me know that right away? Having Jeff Goldblum sing. Because nobody sounds like fucking Jeff Goldblum. And so I'm just like, oh, okay, so they're connected. And then in this one, it's a reveal. And not only is it a reveal, it's a double reveal because we need a flashback to show you. And then that flashback contains this CGI de-aged monstrosity of a Jeff Goldblum. And I'm like, I didn't need that, okay? We couldn't show Judy Garland not being there, but we can show that shit? Okay.
Judy wouldn't want that. Just cool.
Nothing was the right decision in this movie. I didn't even like how the castle looked. The castle was stupid.
Oh, gosh. I didn't even recognize it was the Witch's Castle.
Yeah.
Talk about that trap door.
Yeah, even the trap door is wrong. How are you going to do a drop through a trap door if the trap door opens upwards? Every decision was wrong. Oh, the lights are green. Was that on purpose? No, it's just those ones.
Yeah, no, there's ones down there too.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know why they're green, but yeah, I noticed that like 2 minutes ago. Oh god, it might be. Shit, actually.
Why are there no pink ones?
Glinda ain't important. Oh yeah, there's actually a few.
Yeah, it's like half of them.
Damn. Okay then.
Anyway, that one's half and half.
My people.
But like, seriously, even the trap door being wrong is hilarious. They couldn't do anything right, could they?
No. Although I'm sure that's how it was in the play too, just because you gotta have a trap door come up.
Yeah,
to
make it visual, yeah. Because then people would be like, what am I looking at?
Yeah, just coming out of the hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, why the fuck did she stay down there for days? She could have, like, just waited till, like, the footsteps subsided and then come out. Yeah. Also, I want to know what Dorothy was doing when she heard, like, oh, good. She's like, who's singing to who up there? She's threatening me for shoes and then starts singing? What's going on up there?
Sounds like a party.
Yeah.
Why am I trapped in here?
Also, what did she put in the water to make all the smoke go? Was there dry ice in there? What are we doing?
You see, what you don't see underneath the robe is a layer of dry ice.
Yeah, okay. Man. This movie sucking wasn't even, like, on my radar. I had no thought. Because it's like, they filmed it simultaneously with the first one. That's very rare that, like, a pre-planned sequel isn't good. Like, a sequel to a movie that came out and then people liked it, so they went, oh, let's make a second one. That sucking happens all the time.
Yeah.
But when you make two movies at the same time and the first one's good, the second one's usually pretty good too.
Yeah, but, like, is that through any faults of the script or the production of the movie?
Some of it,
or is
at
it
least.
just Act 2 of the play?
It's both, it seems, but it was not well made either. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
But yes, it should have been one movie. It should have been one movie. Granted, a long one. 3 hours ain't short, but it would have been a much better 3-hour movie than two 2+ hour movies.
You're right. Bump it up to 3.5. Make it a Godfather length.
Make it 4 for all I care, but don't make it 2 movies. If you make it 4 hours, you're still cutting out an hour.
God damn, yeah. But then you'd be cutting content out of that was from the play, you know. All of that
no.
apparently seems to be there.
I don't care. I don't care. If the play's bad, it's bad. I don't give a shit. They make the Phantom of the Opera into a 2.5-hour movie or whatever. You can make Wicked into a 4-hour movie, 3-hour movie.
Man, there's so much going on in Wicked. You saw that first hour of this movie. So much going on.
Why didn't they give the Cowardly Lion a backstory? They insisted on giving the Tin Man and the Scarecrow a backstory, which they didn't fucking need. But the Cowardly Lion, they're like, nah, he doesn't need one. Also, according to this plot, who the fuck is Dorothy and why is she there? Because in the Wizard of Oz, she's like the main character of a story involving the witch who brings her to, Oz, because she's got a counterpart. Everybody's got a counterpart. If that's not the case here, unless Elphaba's got a counterpart in Kansas, then who the fuck is Dorothy? Because, it's not a natural phenomena that brings on this twister, nor is it the witch, the evil witch of the West, doing it. In this, it's Michelle Yeoh doing it to specifically kill Nessa. But instead of killing Nessa with a Munchkin house, she goes, you know what I need to do? I need to bring a fucking house from Kansas.
Yeah.
Where's Kansas? I don't fucking know. But it's coming here, and it's going to be in sepia tone, and there's going to be a little girl inside.
Listen. They build them sturdy in Kansas, wherever that is.
It just doesn't make any sense. You worked so hard to make the movie and the story, connect and be believable while still making sense to the Wizard of Oz story in the first half. And it's the second you get to the second half, everything goes out the window and they don't give a shit anymore. They're like, Wizard of Oz shit. Also, I don't know how fucking slow Dorothy was walking, but the timeline with the Scarecrow getting there was warped as fuck. Because she had left for a while ago, and then they're still worrying and fighting and punching and kicking the shit out of him. And then, if his brain wasn't going to, by magic, he literally just got the shit kicked out of him, and then she pops up and he goes hey, it's just what is going on here?
It was a day later, he'd been up on the bus for a while.
Day? In the Wizard of Oz, it takes her 15 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
It's the first crossroad she gets to.
It was 12 minutes later.
Which, by the way, I for some reason didn't really think about that in the Wizard of Oz. I just now thought about it in this movie, which they're just follow the Yellow Brick Road. There's fucking turns and shit.
Just keep following it. It's gonna wind back and forth, but eventually you'll get where you're going.
Are you making any turns at all? No. And so now I sympathize with Dorothy when she's like, I don't know where I'm going, and he's like, well, you could go this way, or you could go that way. By the way, I just was assaulted by 12 soldiers.
I don't have any memories of that anymore. Because
it's just
my green
if I only had a brain, blood dripping out of his mouth. Don't mind me.
That's a really interesting color straw you got there.
Just, I have internal bleeding.
I didn't know I had blood.
Just straw coming out.
You go to take a step, your start arm falls off. I was like,
my
shit.
piss is red.
See, he doesn't know what brain, so he might think it's Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah. Jesus Christ, this is so stupid. I'm so disappointed. I enjoyed the first half so much.
It really is so much better.
It is. I don't understand how it could be so bad. Does Stephen King write it? What the fuck? I don't like anything about this goddamn movie. I'm getting closer to a 4, but I think I'm going to stick with a 5, because even though it probably deserves a 4, I'm probably never going to think about this again. Even though that might not be true, and I may every once in a while get a little bit mad about all the wasted potential. Alright, that's what we had to think. What a night. Thanks for watching, guys. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.